Hey guys, Dr. Nathan Warren back to tell you more about seasonal allergies. So if you caught my first video, I talked a lot about, some of the different like supplements, some of the different herbs and things like NAC and quercetin and butterbur and raw honey and all the cool things, propolis that you can utilize to really help support histamine reactions, really help to support, seasonal allergies, mucus production, and those things. But I want to talk a little bit about, some things that we can do from a preventative standpoint that, again, supplements should not replace, right? There are certain foundational components to health that we have to be aware help to support our innate healing capabilities. And remember, guys, supplements don't heal anything. Just like I would argue, drugs do not heal anything as well. It's your body's adaptation and reaction to it that heals. It's your body that heals every single time, right? So when we look at this, there's certain foundations to healing that have to be there. And here's some of the biggest ones I've seen lacking in my clinic with my patients and kind of just all over. Let's start with the first one. As we get into the fall season, I don't know if you guys are like me, but our schedule gets crazy and busy, not only in the office, but just as a family. We're running to baseball games, we're running over to soccer games, we are hitting every pumpkin patch, we're doing all the fun things that come with fall. And so with that, a lot of times comes this kind of like stressed out mentality, and a lot of you guys are not sleeping and resting well. Remember, guys, your health is based, literally it can be a direct effect with how well you're sleeping. We have to sleep in order for us to heal. So when we think about what we should do with sleep, is we have to improve the quality of our sleep. We have to improve the way that we are able to recover and repair. If you're not recovering and repairing well, guess what? You are not going to be a healthy individual. Your immune system suffers, your microbiome suffer, even the mentality state and how we're able to think ends up suffering. We got to get good quality sleep, right? You have to prioritize that. Go to bed around the same time, wake up at the same time, set the temperature lower at night, making sure we're getting early sunlight, evening sunlight, right? Things that we can control, getting plenty of time grounding, bare feet on the ground, or maybe if you don't want to, as it gets colder, grounding mat and inside, but really prioritizing rest. Even like things like non-sleep deep rest is going to be a really, really big thing as well. So you want to make sure that you are, focusing on those things that help the body be able to repair. Number two, exercise. In the last video, I actually went over a study that looked at just exercise in general on being able to help prevent the symptoms of, sinusitis and things like sinus issues and allergies and histamine reactions. Why is that? Because when we move, we get our lymphatic system moving. The better our lymphatic system moves, the healthier our immune system is. Not to mention, the more oxygen is delivered to tissues and cells when we move, right? So we know that movement is life. Movement is amazing for our brain and blood flow and oxygen delivery. So we have to get moving in order to stay healthy as a human being, especially when we're talking about, getting into those seasons where everybody's getting sick, everybody has seasonal allergies. We have to do things different. And then the final one I want to mention is diet. So when we're looking at nutrition, there's a few foods that I find seem to affect my patients that have chronic and acute sinus issues. So let's start with the first one, and I'm going to kind of combine two in the first one because they should be obvious at this point because we have talked about it, constantly, and that is our consumption of sugar and our consumption of bad fat. Bad fat, when we look at the sunflower oil, the safflower oil, cottonseed oil, soybean, corn, all of those things, those are absolutely not fit for human consumption. I don't care, what type of, kind of radical idea. I know it's better for the planet. That's a load of bull. This type of vegetable oil, these type of seed oils are rancid to the human body. And I can tell you that not only based on, what I've seen clinically with my patients, I can even tell you that based on logic. Your cells are literally made of a bilipid layer. What does that mean? 2 layers of fat. That is vitally important for the receptors, for your hormones, how we get good things in, how we get good things out. Oh, by the way, your brain is primarily made of fat. The human body itself relies on good quality fat, and if we're filling our cell membranes with a bunch of junk, you will be a sick human being. Sugar, guys, we're getting into the fall. People are consuming massive amounts of sugar. We're going over here to Starbucks and getting, a pumpkin latte that contains 58 grams of sugar in it, and we're over here getting, oh, it's just a little bit of Halloween candy, and next thing you know, you consumed 100 grams of sugar, during that day. Oh, we're at this festival, we're just gonna get like some soda, we're gonna get, this funnel cake. By the time the end of the day comes, you guys have loaded your body with sugar, and we know a certain amount, your body can only handle a certain amount. Above that, right, we start to suffer our immune system, our immune reaction, how well we're able to adapt to the stresses that we're under. And we know that sugar can absolutely feed inflammation. Inflammation can create dysfunction and disease by itself. So that's our first one. Our second one, right, when we're looking at food, is conventional dairy. I find that this really has not only a major histamine reaction in my patients and creates that unhealthy histamine component, but also I see it affecting mucus production. And so if you're still consuming all of this pasteurized, homogenized cow's milk that's coming from A1 casein, I'd say cut that crap out. Maybe if you have to have dairy, or if you love dairy, maybe you're introducing like a goat's milk or sheep's milk, leaning more towards the A2 casein. If you're going to do cow's milk, I would recommend finding a local farmer that genetically has A2 casein type of cows. The milk that they produce as vitally important, because if you're still consuming conventional cow's milk, unfortunately, one, all the good stuff is dead, rancid, oxidized, and junk. They have to fortify it with vitamins that are synthetic anyway. And then number two, you're also getting just a lot of, lacking the enzymes, lacking the good quality bacteria that we need to help us digest that. And again, that the genetic breed with A1 casein is highly inflammatory. I am not a fan of doing that. So make sure if you're having seasonal allergies, cut out the conventional dairy, get it out of your life. Your body will improve when you do that. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. Third one is you may have to get grain, specifically wheat, out of the diet. Why? Because a lot of you already have compromised gut microbiomes, compromised linings of the gut. So looking at the mucosal membrane, looking up at the lining of the gut itself, we know without a shadow of a doubt that gluten and gliadin can trigger zonulin production. That is, we're looking at a molecule that actually helps you open up those tight junctions in the gut, creates what's called gut permeability. That's a big deal, because if we have things that are supposed to stay in the gut actually leaking out of the gut and going systemic, guess what? Your body is going to have an immune reaction to that, and it's going to attack that. And that can look different symptoms for different people, but I have found that this actually plays a big role in acute sinus issues, seasonal allergies as well. So make sure when you're looking at diet, those are three things that you can do. And I'll tell you right now, if you improve those three things, I don't care if it's acute sinus issues, you're going to see improvements overall, because we're going to see inflammation go down, the way your body's able to regulate inflammation, the way your body's able to adapt to stress, the way that your body's able to utilize, appropriate hormone production and being able to bind those to the receptors on the cell membrane, the way that you're going to be able to decrease your blood glucose and insulin response and your metabolic health. Guys, everything starts to change with even those three right there. And if you've never done that before, go test it, right? Spend 2 to 4 weeks where you really buckle down and watch how amazing your body starts to feel, again, when you're feeding it what it needs. So there's some, quality tools that you guys can put in your toolbox to, again, help you not only with acute sinus issues and allergy issues during the seasonal time, but also just overall when it comes to health. All those things I talked about in this video really start to apply to our overall health in general. So as always, health is your choice. It is a choice. And today you guys made a great choice by listening to these videos. And as always, guys, go out, try these things out. These are tools for your toolbox. And as always, like, subscribe, share our videos so that we can get our message out to as many people as possible. Sometimes health is very, very simple to start changing, and some of these tools you guys can start utilizing even today, which is super, super exciting. So go to doctorswarren.com if you want to check out more information about us. I'll see you next time.